Hiya crafters, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and I have an unboxing for Tailored Expressions and hopefully a little bit of a demo at the end as well, so stick around. So I'm going to show you what I got. You'll see I got several of these. Now, these are the simple storage for simple strip boxes. They're genius. They have this tray that pulls out. They're perfectly sized for the simple strips, which I'm about to show you an example of some of them. But I purchased more of these. I'm going to show you what I actually already have. I've been using these for years. They're some of my most used sentiments. But I have a bunch of the storage boxes filled up with the various different sets. Like this is the crafty one. So you can see it holds 19 different strips. Oops. So it's a really nice way to be able to see them without having them all in a box and having to flip through or in a little bag or something like that. So this is one of my favorite storage solutions. And as you can see, I've got 8 here. Plus I have a Christmas one with my Christmas goodies. And now I've just added to the collection. So I actually also bought some extra of these because I have other simple strips that I want to store in them as well. So I'm hoping they'll work size-wise with some other ones because there's just no other system out there like this. Like this is just brilliant and it speaks to my my organization needs. So I have several of these boxes. Just gonna set these aside. And then what I got differently here is this. Now this is the mini strips flags. So you can get different edges on them. I don't know if the minis have different options, but I know on my regular size ones, you can get these flag ends or you can get rounded, you can get square, you can also get a shadow layer. This is my first time buying the minis, so I'm not really sure. I tend to prefer the flag because if you want it straight, then you can just kind of snip it straight. But I like having that flag option. And these are much smaller, you could see, than the regular size ones. So one of the smaller ones of the regular size strips, it appears to be pretty much like the biggest one on this. So this is the mini strips flags. These are obviously cheaper because there's not as many of them on the set and they're smaller in size. But I wanted to get these just because I liked the options that were available. I got, what's this one? Sending, so mini strips sending, mini strips Valentine, mini strips fun and funny, and I think I have, yep, I did get one more here, mini strips Halloween. So what you do is you're going to stamp these out and, you know, either emboss them or stamp them or whatever, and these little markers here line up with this. And like I said, do stick around. I'll try and add a little demo and show you how these work, and I'll fill up some of these boxes. Now, as an additional step, which was really cool, is, sorry, shook the camera here, she started selling these label strips, which I'm going to apply them on, got a few of them here. I think I got most of the ones that I already have. I think there might be one of the ones that I already have that there wasn't a label for some reason. But these are going to go on the edge here or on the top to indicate what set they're from, which is really super handy. And they're obviously pretty rainbow colors. So these mini ones, so simple strips, these mini ones, basically you can do like 2 across them because they're so small. You could do 2 across the top here. So I'm going to label them with these labels once I get these all done and add it into their respective boxes, and that will be really fun. Now, I did get a freebie. Where did I just put it? I got this gorgeous freebie because my order was big enough, but this is called Mosaic Card, and this is gorgeous. So immediately I think shaker card, because when it offers you the cool detailed inner portion die as well as the outer, I immediately think shaker. So this would make a really cool shaker card, not just for Valentine's Day, but for year round. So super fun. Excited about that. And then I got this cute little, oh, I think there's something else in here. Oh, Taylor. So cool. Oh yeah, she did. She gave me another little Another little stamp in here. That's thoughtful. Oh, cute. It's like it's a little stamp. That's so cute. Little rubber stamp. Anyway, so that's what I got here. Hang tight and I will show you the demo. Okay, I'm back to demo these products. I have some tools here to do some heat embossing. I have Alabaster white embossing powder, I have some embossing ink, I have my anti-static tool, some black cardstock and white cardstock, and I'm basically going to show you what my process is. I have these 4 new mini simple strips, as well as the labeling stickers and the dies and the new boxes. Now these minis you can actually fit 2 sets in 1 box. So there's 19 slots. You get 10 per mini set. So on one of the trays, you'll have to double up one of the simple strips. But otherwise, you can fit 2 per box. So I have 2 empty boxes there. And what I love about this right off the bat is that I can use half a sheet of cardstock and stamp 2 of them at the same time. So I'm using my static tool. This is from the Rabbit Hole Designs. And I have my Nuvo brush there to kind of sweep away any excess. And you can see here I'm starting with the clear embossing ink, and I'm going to use my press tool and press this down. I'm going to stamp it a few times before I coat it with the Alabaster white embossing powder. And you can see I have several of the containers of embossing powder in this container, and it makes it really easy to just kind of filter it back into the box to save the rest of it. So I'm just going to pull this out and then I'll coat it with this embossing powder. I have this cool little bead tray, which makes it really easy to scoop it on there, but I still, of course, managed to make a mess because that's what I do every single time I touch embossing powder. I'm a bit of a train wreck. So anyway, I'm just kind of flicking the cardstock to try and get any little excess bits off. If you have any little spots that stuck where it wasn't supposed to, you can get a little pokey tool or a little super tiny fine brush and try and get any excess off. But I have my heat tool here. This is a WOW 2-speed or 2-heat embossing gun, and I got it nice and hot, and I'm just going to bring it to the cardstock. Now, right off the bat, I noticed that it kind of melted into the paper, and it wasn't a very even impression, so that's when I remembered, I should be using white pigment ink. So this is a way to kind of offset maybe not a good embossing. So if you start with a white base, then chances are better that your words are going to appear more white on a black cardstock. So this one, I kind of messed up. I was trying to come at it again after I already used the clear and embossed it. I was trying to stamp on it again, but because it was already kind of warped, it kind of double stamped it. So this was not a great example. Actually, this might be a fresh one. I did double stamp the first one, and then I just started again here on a fresh black one to show you, and I will show you the comparison here. So here you can see I kind of double stamped. I am saving it just in case I can still use them, but you can see it's much more crisp here and kind of a better embossing. So do yourself a favor, if you have white embossing ink that was Hero Arts Unicorn, maybe try stamping with that instead of the clear embossing ink, and then you might have a little bit better luck. But it does make a difference with the paper, with the embossing powder, with the ink. All these things kind of, work in tandem. So here I'm showing you, I'm going to do white heat embossing on white cardstock, and stick around, I'll show you why. I'll also have a couple other tips at the end. So if you stick around, I'll show you this process with my storage, what all I have so far, and where I'm going with this, and why I choose this route. So you can't really see anything here. I'm not going to bore you with too much, but I'm doing the same thing. I'm stamping it in white pigment ink, coating it in white embossing powder on white cardstock, and then I will also, cook it the same way I did. There I was showing you the static tool because, again, I forgot to use it. So I was a bit of a struggle bus here. I was trying to do this late at night, but I really wanted to pull this video together. So now I've got them all heat embossed and cooked and ready to go. So now I'm going to get the coordinating die out, and this is so convenient. See, it lines up perfectly with those little squares. Just going to use some mint tape and run this through off screen. I have a manual die cutting machine. I have a Spellbinders Platinum 6. So I ran that through, and I'm basically going to crack open one of these new boxes. You can pull that label off the front. It comes off really easy, or you could leave it on if you like it. But I'm going to do 1 tray per set. So you can see you may not be able to see this on the screen, but the tray in the back has more long strips. So there's some length that gets lost on the top tray. So this applies more if you're using like the regular simple strips, because those tend to be a little bit wider than these, but just bear that in mind. So one of the trays has 9, one has 10, and the trays in the back are wider. Now this, you can see, since I have 2 sets in this one box, I'm using the 2 mini sets stamps, or stickers rather, to label them. And you can see I used my other new labels to show you my other sets that I already had. So satisfying. This one didn't have ascending stickers, so I kind of made my own. I just used a sticker that I didn't have that set and then covered it with a label. Now here's a tip. Thank you for sticking around, and I'll have one more tip in a moment here, but this is why I do it in white. I have my jelly plate here. You can use a stick mat or whatever, but I find the jelly plate is a nice kind of dual purpose tool here. But I'm going to hold down this simple strip. You could also kind of flip a piece of mint tape over or post-it tape and hold it down. But this is where the magic of embossing on white comes in. You can custom color your simple strip. So they may be a little hard to spot, maybe a little hard to see on the screen, but this pays itself back in full reward when you can completely customize this color to the card that you've created. So you can see how bright white that pops through. You kind of make your own custom colored cardstock based on whatever your design is, and that is why I do it in white. So I love white heat embossing on black and white heat embossing on white, and that's my favorite way to do this. Now for my final tip, I bought extra of these boxes because I also have simple strips from Ellen Hudson. Now, you probably know Ellen Hudson has retired, but there are still some of these strips available on her Amazon shop, and those also fit in these boxes, so I bought extra. So be sure to check out Tailored Expressions. Loads of fabulous products. Hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for spending time with me. Bye.